Might hit a late, you pick up and come do what I wanna. Been buzzing, you know the vibes. Possibly high up this life that I live, I perfected my me back in junior high. Stepped out of circles, I need all that shine on myself. Heard it slacking with suicide. Ceased every sense of my doubt, cause I learned you could be what you want long as you decide. Hang on my phone on the bitch, you be calling her baby, I call her a dub. Fuck niggas all in your section, might stunt your progression, not just in the club. I can't be nothing like niggas, I shoot up the gym, Brody might need a sub. Chasing that hoe, how you saw out the whack, it's too hard to get back where you was. Fuck niggas screaming they necks. Throw all the shade that you wanted, your hoe throw me sex. Watch when you throw up the set. New to the soil, they might put your soul on the jet. I say let go, they forget. I say go get them, they might put that fold to your neck. We carry codes to the vets. She call me daddy, but my city call me the best. Watch how you moving, I shoot. Popping with nothing to prove. What can you do? What can you say, so we move? Up and ain't nothing to me if they fuck with the groove. Watch how you flexing them rules. Watch how you step to them niggas with rep in the room. Don't see that weapon assume. Too many talking too big till they head get the boom. Too quick to hang on my phone on the bitch. You be calling the shorty, I call out a play. Back to that shit I was on. If it go, then I'm on it to start up the day. Back to them licks if I had to. My go-getters at you, we all in your place. Back to the quickest reaction to fuck shit in traffic. I shoot up the race. Fuck niggas know what to do. Soon as you see us, it get kinda ugly for you. Bitches, you fuck with the truth. Squeeze all that shit that you love, cause there's nothing to lose. Some ain't got nothing to do. They wait for me to say go, then they rushing to you. They get to busting in twos. Empty that, then double back just for fucking with dude. Watch how you moving out. Shoot, popping with nothing to prove. What can you do? What can you say, so we move? Up and ain't nothing to me if they fuck with the groove. Watch how you flexing them rules. Watch how you step to them niggas with rep in the room. Don't see that weapon assume. Too many talking too big till they head get the boom. Watch how you moving, I shoot. Popping with nothing to prove. What can you do? Gotta watch how you move. Say so we move. Up and ain't nothing to me if they fuck with the groove. Watch how you flexing them rules. Watch how you step to them niggas with rep in the room. Yeah. Feel me? Yeah. Guess it feel a little different. Say,
Listen out, Pluto. Listen out.
Realest story ever told. I've been in the mode, getting kinda bigger, starting not to fit the clothes. We've been eating good, chopped bread by the loaves. If it's ever something you should wonder, ask the home. Still the same one with the extra clips and the beans. Bet she suck a nigga sleepy if I'm ever finna doze. Pipe down with it, they'll wipe a nigga nose. They gon' fuck the hoe, tried to get him off the flow, shake back. Ain't a lot of losses, bet they couldn't take that. Don't want your little gas, let you come with straight packs. Big Brody said roll it, better hope it ain't whack. We's from a section where the robbers getting jacked. Hoping when you speak it that it's only all facts. Less you talking to the laws that'll follow till you flat. But even then, they'll still remember you a rat. Yeah, I'ma need a vacation. Far away from problems, don't wonder why I can't solve them. Don't wanna be patient. We done been starving, we're not a person we can get the calling. Can't do no more waiting. Cause there's in the stall and I'm happy where the chips been falling. I'ma need a vacation. Yeah, I'ma need a vacation. I'ma need a vacation. Can't believe I really used to sit around with you. You was hating on me when I hit the town with you. That's what being broke and chasing after gowns get you. Pussy sure bring this silly shit up out of nigga. If it's ever what he said, check the sources when he enter. Motives in his head, shit that we don't need a dinner. Thankful we accustomed to this shit, ain't no beginners. Motivated to go be a motherfucking winner. Couldn't let him show me, got a family I'ma feed. Ain't gotta hit nobody for the cannons I'ma need. You can bet your motherfucking granny I'ma squeeze. Old heads know me, said ain't many I can please. They just show a nigga love when they see me in the breeze. No stressing me, I'm headed to some motherfucking cheese. Tell them if they want me, hope they coming with the fees. I'ma need a vacation. Yeah, far away from problems. Don't wonder why I can't solve them. Don't wanna be patient. We done been starving. We're not a person we can get the calling. Can't do no more waiting. Cause there's in the stalling. I'm happy where the chips been falling, but need a vacation. I'ma need a vacation. Yeah, I'ma need a vacation. I'ma need a vacation. I'ma need a vacation. I'ma need a vacation. Might hit a lace, you pick up and come do what I want. Been buzzing, you know the vibes. Possibly how this life that I live, I perfected my me back in junior high. Stepped out of circles, I need all that shine on myself, heard it slacking with suicide.
What's up, everybody? Happy Monday. Nice to see you guys here. Before I kick things off, I want to remind you guys that I'm offering, well, part of the new year and part of we're in a bull market, want to give back to all you guys for supporting me, being part of the community. I'm offering all of my trades that I take for free. So any trade I take, I post it in Telegram. We started last week. We took 3 trades. We were pretty much ended break even. Yesterday was a holiday week, so there really wasn't a lot to do anyways. Took a trade yesterday, ended break even again. It was a short. I'll explain that one on stream. I'm actually looking to take another short. We're pretty overextended on everything, so if you want to take part in that, check out the link in my pinned tweet or pinned X tweet, whatever it's called now, and get you access. But let's look at charts. So we pumped a lot. I'll be the first to admit I didn't expect it, and I'm going to start with the daily here, and we'll lead into the 1 hour. Okay, I got 11 minutes until the hour close, because I need to pay attention to the hour close, because we're looking to take a short, and I'll explain that thought process. So, yesterday, the day before, and the day before that, was watching the daily a lot, and I did have one fear, and I really didn't think this would play out. I explained to Patreons, to guys in Discord, and the guys on Telegram that this looks more like a V-shaped recovery. That looks more like a V-shaped recovery than a possible head and shoulders here. We've actually completely invalidated the idea of an invalidated the idea of a head and shoulders by really getting above this point and looking to close. If this candle turns into a wick, though, and we go under this resistance, it's not looking good. However, volume's there. Everything looks fine now. I just had a couple issues, right? We had low volume. Obviously, we were closer to resistance than to support. My whole judgment was saying, hey, guys, probably not the best time to long. Ended up being a pretty decent long if you took it. You know, not everything is going to go as to plan, but as a general rule of thumb, you shouldn't be looking for longs up here. You should be looking for longs at support. 2 weeks ago, when we dropped 10, 15%, I'd said, hey, good time to look for longs. Good time to buy stuff. Especially alts that are on sale. Not necessarily like trade alts, but if you're looking to accumulate alts for Altseason, some of those alts corrected 30%. What's good? Saw your tweet about the first macro bear sign. I'm curious to hear what you have to say. So I'll go over that too. Look, when I say first bear, like macro bearish sign, it could take months to play out. I know that's going to sound ridiculous because you're like, oh, he said bearish, and if it happens tomorrow, he'll claim he's right, or if it happens months from now, he claims he's right. I'm not. I'm still saying we're in a bull market. But my point is, the bull market doesn't last forever, and we're already starting to see the kind of cracks get bigger and bigger, and that being the first sign of the DXY. So I'll get to that actually now since we're on the topic. Our weekly is broken out completely. Completely broken out. Unless we could always go back inside. That's always a possibility, and the bull market will continue. My logic was, if we form bearish divergences on this weekly RSI, this bull market's going to last at least another year. I am questioning it now, and a lot of that is because if you zoom in on this, we do not have bearish divergences. We have higher highs here, higher highs here. Do I think that the dollar is going to go down and maybe retest to continue higher? Yes. Could this last 4 to 5 to 6 months? Absolutely. That's kind of where I'm saying, look, the cracks are starting to fade, or it's not fade, starting to get larger. We're starting to see bullish pressure by the dollar. The dollar going up by general standard means everything else goes down, right? That means alts, that means Bitcoin, that means stocks, that's everything. Stocks and crypto have been in a parabolic uptrend for the last 2 years, right? It's not going to last forever. I know some of you guys are here and you're new, and maybe you just got in, or you're just coming back. You're kind of late, right? I mean, in terms of, okay, you could make some nice trades here. There's some nice volatility. You know, we haven't had alt season. Okay, you're right. But I'm not really looking to buy here. I'm looking for reasons to sell at this point, personally. And one of them being, you know, this. My second sell sign, if you go to Bitcoin and you look at the monthly, and I know a lot of you keep saying, what about this monthly candle? That means nothing. It's one candle. That idea that this one candle means that we're going to start some kind of downtrend when we've seen red candles that look like shooting stars in the past is kind of weird. My biggest thing, and I don't want to play with this too much because it messes it up on my phone, but if I enter logarithmic here, and I think it's actually this chart, there it is. I want you guys to notice something. On the monthly and on the weekly, when we hit 80 to 90 RSI, what happens? We top. Where are we now? We're sitting at 75, almost 80. No, you're looking at possibly, I don't think we're going to go 400K. That's ridiculous. Probably like 150 to 160. I don't know how to do the measured move from there, but I'm assuming that's kind of where we're going to land. Anything sub 200. I don't think we get above 200. If we do, great. I'll be out of the market by then. I'll have a solid 5 to 7x on my Bitcoin buys from 15 to 25K. I'm happy with 150K, right? So what else am I looking for? I'm looking for, RSI to hit that 80 to 90 level. It's been a historical level. It has followed suit for the last several cycles. It's important, right? The dollar, another sign. Now, look, the Bitcoin has not hit that level yet, so I'm not concerned yet. But the dollar starting to show upward pressure, show upward movement. I don't want to say that's scary because, look, we could spend 8 weeks, 9 weeks, do this, right? I know I have it drawn over a year. It's not going to be a year. I mean, it could be a year. We could literally move sideways for a full year, right? But this is looking or going to form some kind of bull flag. Again, we don't have that reversal pressure from those divergences. So looking at that, and look, we actually made bull divergences here, right? Got the reversal, got the move upwards. I was really hoping we'd make bear divs here. We just didn't. That's kind of where my thought process is. It doesn't mean that the bull market's ending. Honestly, it could last another 4 to 6 to a year, right? But it's not going to last forever. And this is kind of the first sign that says, okay, the dollar's really not showing bearish pressure, which means at some point something's going to give and the market's going to drop. But we haven't even had alt season, so I can't say that we're near the end yet. Are you worried about USDT dominance hitting the low 3%? No. Not at all. That's a good thing. Dominance going down means that crypto goes up, means that Bitcoin goes up especially. Think of Tether as the dollar. When this goes up, Bitcoin goes down. When this goes down, Bitcoin goes up. This going down is a good thing. That means there's less Tether in circulation. That means there's a lot of people buying. That means that, think of a basic example, and this is not how it's going to work, but think like you got Coincatch, right? Let's say they have 1 billion Tether. I have no idea how much they have. Actually, we'll do this. Let's say they have 100 Tether. Again, just for example, right? They have 100 Tether at any point, right? Market's probably in a bear market, let's say. Let's say the market's been going down. Now at the bottom, they have 50 Tether, right? A lot of buying pressure here. Okay, market shoots up because there's less Bitcoin, more Bitcoin being bought, which means less Bitcoin overall. There's also less Tether in circulation on this one exchange. Now, I know, again, expand this to every single exchange, trying to give you an example. Okay, let's say we keep going up. Now Tether's at 25, right? Dominance would keep going down because this money is being used to buy Bitcoin. That's kind of the logic there. What's up, you sir? How's it going? Hope your holidays were good. Took profits on a 900% gain. That's pretty solid. Pretty good. Just for the sake of it. Okay, we got 4 minutes. Just let me look at the Bitcoin 1 hour real quick. I want to see where we are. Yeah, probably going to go a little bit lower. That sucks. I really wanted bearish divergences here because I wanted to short this, but unfortunately we didn't get them. Let's look at the S&P. So in my opinion, the S&P is following exactly what we've wanted it to. If you guys remember the streams from, I know I didn't stream the last 2 weeks. We had the holidays. A lot of people are busy, not a lot of market movement. Kind of take a nice little break. I think a lot of you guys took a break, right? Trading volume was pretty low. Market was going down or sideways. There wasn't really a lot to do. What's up, Will? How you doing, man? But the S&P is following exactly what we want. We want this to move sideways so we can continue to move up. And a lot of that had to do with this overbought stock. Now where are we? We're oversold. We have plenty of room to continue going higher. I'd give RSI maybe a little bit more of a correction if we move sideways, but either way, we have plenty of room to go higher now. Now that everything's kind of gotten a reset, and we got that reset over a 3-week downward period. Not bad on my side. Hope it was fun. Yeah, it was fun. We actually just had a massive snowstorm here in the States. Like where I live, it doesn't really snow at all, and we got 12 inches of snow. Like I literally have my snow pants on. I was out with the dogs, just like wrestling around in the snow. It's pretty fun. But yeah, we don't really get snow. If we get snow, it's like a quarter to half, maybe an inch every year. But we got 12 inches in one day. Pretty wild. I haven't seen that in a very long time. But we went over the dollar, so I'm not going to spend too much time there. There's my alarm, right? I really wanted to take that trade, but it doesn't look like we're going to get it. That sucks. Take a look at the total charts. And I'm going to answer this next question. I know a lot of you guys got a question about Altseason. So I've covered this extensively with my patrons in Discord, right? I know that Bitcoin dominance has dropped, right? But here's the thing. There are a lot of charts on Bitcoin dominance on Twitter, right? Where's resistance, where's support? And look, we haven't revisited this area in 4 years, right? This area is going to be very choppy. It's going to bounce a lot. To me, I don't think we're ready for Altseason yet. I think Bitcoin's still on a tear. I think it's very clear that when Bitcoin pumps, alts suck like they are now. I mean, look at Tau to Bitcoin. It's down 4% today. Ethereum to Bitcoin down 2.38. Sol to Bitcoin 1.17. I mean, nothing's really doing well against Bitcoin. Every time Bitcoin pumps, it steals the show. Bitcoin dominance pumps. We haven't really lost this area. I know we did briefly, a nice little sink, but immediate retrace. Now kind of consolidating. I mean, if we consolidate, this is a bull flag to go higher, right? We're kind of holding this area. And on top of that, you go to Ethereum to Bitcoin and all these other alt charts. And okay, maybe this is the bottom, but until we break a significant level that shows, I guess, dominance, right? That shows alts finally climb against Bitcoin, especially Ethereum to Bitcoin. This is probably the most important alt to Bitcoin chart. We're not in alt season. I know some alts are doing well. Like you just had Fetch pump like quite a bit, which was nice, right? You just had Tau climb up. What is this, like $200? That's very good. But from a macro standpoint, Tau has done nothing since September, right? Fetch has done nothing really in almost a year. Hasn't it? Like big consolidation. Now, will it go up eventually? I believe so. But until we get that confirmation, we're not in alt season yet, and that's a good thing, right? We want to see more liquidity pump into Bitcoin so that when Bitcoin sells off, it goes into these alts and they go crazy. Now, we are at 101K, so we do have a decent amount of liquidity, but I think we need more. Do I think we're going to have a flush below 100K? That's a tough one to answer. I don't really know. I mean, look, we could make a bigger range here and then pump, right? Make a huge range that really takes its time to cool off this weekly, maybe even cooling off the monthly a little bit. It's really hard to tell right now. I can't outright say, oh, we're never going below 100K again. That's just stupid, right? My only problem with this chart right now is if we do continue to pump and we don't break above this RSI high, I mean, I don't think we're going to go that high. Maybe 114 and then like another flush And maybe we just keep doing that. Maybe that's just the way this bull market is. I will say, however, this has been a nice period of consolidation in here. We caught up with our 50 EMA. We've reset RSI. We reset stock RSI. We reset the weekly a little bit. A lot of good things happening overall. But as for like never going below 100K or not, I don't know. That's a tough one. I mean, you could argue if the weekly, gets like this and we form a bearish divergence here, I mean, we're going to spend more time in this range to sort out that bearish divergence. So kind of hard to tell. I mean, if the weekly forms a bearish divergence, then yes, probably we'll see, 92 to 89 again, I'd imagine. ETH has been laggy the entire cycle. There's actually a very real chance we won't have another Altseason. That's just not true. Alts are performing the exact way that they did in 2020. And actually, Ethereum's outperforming its 2020 cycle right now. So, look, a lot of these alts, like if you bought Tau 2 years ago, you're up a shit ton of money. Fetch, you're up a shit ton of money. Like, I was calling this out at 30, 50, 60 cents. I mean, it's up to $1.58, but you could have bought it at 8. You could have bought it in 2022 when Bitcoin was at the low. And you're up a ridiculous amount. You're up over a 10x. Anna Sand, I mean, a lot of these have pumped quite nicely off their lows. I mean, yes, I'll say, like, some of these alts haven't been doing the best, but we're also not in alt season yet. We haven't seen a liquidity shift. So, I this idea that, like, alt season will never happen, I just don't believe in. Like, if you're a very wealthy person and you own a ton of Bitcoin and then you sell your Bitcoin, right? And then you're like, okay, where do I put my money now? And then you look at Ethereum. You're like, oh my God, Ethereum's only $3,000. And, I just sold all my Bitcoin profit, made a ton of money. I'm going to put some in Ethereum. Now multiply that number of rich guys by several million. That's how you get alt season. They sell their Bitcoin into these altcoins and then they start pumping. And then retail gets on board and buys the top, right? What would I recommend to people who are sidelined? Oh, that's tough, dude. You're not going to like this answer. I think you're too late. Because here's the thing. And this is, I'm going to explain this in a way that will make sense to you. Look, at the end of the day, whether we continue higher or we don't, right? You never buy an asset when it's at all-time highs. I want you to look at the Bitcoin chart. I need to get rid of these, dude. I don't need all. Actually, I do need the ones on there. So take a look at this. I'm going to get out of log so we can see the regular. We are less than 5% off all-time highs, right? I mean, I'm not trying to be rude, but like, where were you when we were down here? When we were down 70 to 80%, right? And I could say, hey, go buy some altcoins, right? That's probably a good idea. But here's the thing. A lot of alts pumped. And what if this is the top and we don't get an alt season? What if who said that earlier? EM? What if EM's right and we don't get an alt season? Then you just bought the top of altcoins and they're going to go down 90%. You're going to lose all your money. So you're in a tricky spot. Like, let me give you this example. If someone in my family gave me money to invest for them, you know what I'd do with it? I would either put it in the trading bot that we have. If you guys want access to that trading bot, all the information's in Telegram. Put it in the trading bot as a trading investment. Like, it's just trading. It's not holding. It's not buying spot. It's trading in and out. Or I would tell them to follow my lower time frame trades or learn how to lower time frame trade or just learn how to trade in general. Because buying spot at this point, it's just not worth it. You're not going to get the tax implications, right? This bull market's not going to last more than a year from now. No way. No shot. If it does, then I'll eat my own words. But, I mean, the whole point of buying spot, at least for me, is so that when I cash out, and again, I bought, between 15 and 25K, right? We were down 70%. I've said it for months. Guys, we're down a lot. Time to buy. It is time to buy right now. Buy everything you can. Buy Bitcoin, buy Ethereum. Here's Link. Here's all these examples of different altcoins to buy, right? Link, ICP, Fetch, Tau. This whole list. I covered the whole list. Crow, Digibyte, Doge, all of them. Mana, Sand. That's where you buy. And a lot of that is because if you live in the States or you live in a country that has this implication, we have long-term capital gains. So if you hold for over a year, the maximum amount you're taxed on is 20%. If you were to buy spot now, here's the thing. You have two things. One, okay, let's say you make a profit, right? Let's say Bitcoin goes to 200K. You're going to be taxed 40% on that spot. Two, I don't think your risk reward is worth it. Because if we are to top now, or let's say we only go to like 120K, and you're not satisfied with those gains, or you get sucked into the narrative the bull market's going to continue moving forward, you're in a tricky spot, right? You haven't made much. You're going to be taxed a shit ton. And I just don't think it's worth it. So if I were you and I was sidelined, I would trade or learn from this cycle and just eat it. I mean, maybe buy some alts, but I wouldn't go all in on them. Like if you gave me $100,000 right now, I'd probably buy like $10,000 worth of alts and just let it sit and see what happens. If I triple or quadruple my money, excellent, right? That's an excellent return. Great. You know, on the side, I can learn how to trade and I'll be prepared for the next cycle. But right now, you're kind of late. Don't you think all the capital got diluted and went to pump fun and other stuff? That's no classic Altseason this season. No, I don't believe that. I just don't think liquidity has shifted at all. I think all the liquidity is going to Bitcoin, and it's obvious. Look at Bitcoin dominance. Look at alt to Bitcoin charts. There's nothing that's pumping. And notice when Bitcoin dominance does drop, alts pump a shit ton. Because there is some liquidity going from Bitcoin to alts, but it's not a massive amount yet. So we've seen hints of what could happen during alt season. We had a good 2-week period where alts did tremendous. But at the same time, that's not alt season. That's just a week period of alts playing catch up. Looking at the thesis that ETH will still pump, would it be logical to add some dollars to a position hoping for it to hit like 5 to 6K? At this point, I don't think so. And again, you go to Ethereum and again, the same argument for Bitcoin, right? If you're trading it, that's something different, right? You've got risk reward, you've got indications, you're trading it. If you're looking to just buy and hold and that you're hoping that we're going to hit an area, I don't think it's worth it. Because what if we don't, one, what if we don't hit that area? Or two, you know, what if this is the top? Like, I'm not kidding you. What if Bitcoin tops right like this week? And that's the top. That's it. We make bearish divergences, right? And then we start to sink all the way back down. Then you just bought a bunch of stuff and you're at a massive risk. For a lot of us that bought spot, right? When we bought down here, we don't really, I don't want to say we don't have risk, right? We could definitely drop down to 30K. I'm sure there's a way we could do it. But here's the thing, like, is that realistic? Probably not as much. I mean, what if like this is the cycle and the next cycle we go to, 150? You know, our spot buys here are safe and they're just long-term holdings at that point. You said it a million times when it was the right time to buy and that the recession is over. Yeah, that is a good point. I feel bad for people that are new and might have missed those tweets, but for a lot of you that don't know, a 30% correction on the S&P 500 is technically a recession. Now I'm going to show you something that's going to help you in the future. That is a 28% correction on the S&P over a year-long period. That is a recession. Whether they want to tell you it is or isn't, it is a recession. All recession is correction in the market. Right? Our economy definitely slowed down. It's definitely, I don't want to say it's still like super slow, but there's definitely industries being affected. Not every industry. Right? During this period, what happened to crypto? Right? Let's pull up the Bitcoin chart. What did Bitcoin do with the S&P? They bottomed almost on the same week, right? If you looked at the recession average of 30%, right? And you said, okay, as soon as, the S&P drops to like 20, 25%, which was in here, Bitcoin was down 70%. That was your chance to buy. Right? At this point, I can't justify it. If you want to take that risk personally, that's up to you. But for me, I wouldn't justify it. And trust me, I've got cash. I don't think we're going to be buying a house as soon as we'd hoped. The market sucks. There's just not many options. And I'd love to take that cash and throw it into stuff that's going to make me money. But the problem is, there's nothing to buy. Like, I can't justify buying anything in crypto at the moment. Plus, we already have a decently sized spot bag. What's the point in risking it? This bull run I made 3K 10 and think it will go to 20. Do you think next cycle? I think I can make 100 plus from 30K. You're asking me a question I can't really answer. I mean, if you made money this cycle, excellent. But ask me if you can make $100,000 next cycle, and we don't even know. We're still in this cycle. We don't even know if we're going to get a cycle moving forward. I can't really answer that for you. I mean, just as a basic rule of thumb, guys, if you ever see a solid asset like the S&P 500, like Bitcoin, like Ethereum, like the Dow Jones, the NASDAQ, here's the thing, and here's why you bet on the S&P 500, and really all of these. The S&P 500 is basically the betting on the United States, right? I know everyone's got their own opinions, whatever. If the S&P 500 goes to zero, you've got way bigger problems on your hands than your money, right? So if the S&P, let's say the S&P drops like 40, 50%. Let's just like draw a hypothetical example. Let's say the S&P does this. Like that. Right? And I know a lot of people are being told now to buy here, which that's not necessarily a bad thing to do, right? If we go up to here, but how do you know? But here's my thing. Let's say you've got a bunch of money, and between these 2 points, right? You're like, oh, I got all this money. What do I do? And we know that there's going to be some kind of financial, I don't want to say catastrophe soon, but there's definitely something looming, right? Let's say we drop 50%. Let's just say it happens. We nailed it. We knew that there was a catastrophe. We dropped 50%, right? I would start buying. See, recession average is about 30%. I would start buying here at 56 and just buy all the way down. Because here's the thing. If the S&P 500, or if Bitcoin, for example, this could be Bitcoin too. If Bitcoin dropped 50% tomorrow, would you buy? That's a question you need to ask yourself from time to time. The S&P 500 dropped 30 to 50%. I would buy. I'd buy a shit ton. I would be calling the bank and saying, put it all on the S&P right now. Maybe not everything, but put a chunk into the S&P now, and we'll buy down or buy up from here, whatever. Why? Because if the S&P 500 goes to zero, then the only things that's going to matter are fishing hooks and bullets. Your money's not going to mean anything. So, and the only way the S&P 500 would go to zero is if, like, the United States got nuked to oblivion, which, again, wouldn't matter because everyone would be dead, or you'd be living in an underground bunker, or, radioactive survival land where stocks and crypto don't even matter at all. So that's kind of my logic for you guys. I know that's a lot to take in. Hopefully that helps. Thoughts on Destra? I don't know what Destra is. Let's look at the 1 hour. I have this, I had this earlier in the title. Bitcoin's pumping. What's next? So here's what I'm looking for, and put this in Telegram. I can actually show you guys the Telegram messages. Oh, it won't let me full screen it? That's lame. Whatever. So I had the setup. I really wanted this, right, where we'd make a bull div with RSI. We have oversold stock. I was like, oh, perfect, right? We're overextended on the daily, the 4 hour, the 1 hour. Everything looks good for a nice like 1 to 2% drop. We're also 3% higher than the 50 estimated moving average or exponential moving average, which is generally again a good time to short. Then we had it, and then we closed like this, right? We actually didn't make it. We missed dibs by $3. $3. Look at this. This close was 102, 185. This close was 102, 182. Did not close bear divs. And then what do we do? Of course, we dump a little bit. I mean, this is what? I mean, 0.5%. That's nothing. And now we're starting to pump back up. So what I'm looking for is, one, I either want to see this consolidate and make a bull div, right? So we can continue higher. But honestly, guys, you look at the 4 hour, that's overextended. You look at the 1 day, which its stock is overextended. Surely normal RSI isn't, but this could spend a couple days going sideways and then up further. And then you look at the 1 hour, which is, again, overextended, or looking to create some kind of short setup. Not to mention, you look at the 50 EMA and look how much higher we are. I mean, we're almost 3% higher. That's a lot, right? Think of this exponential moving average as well, first of all, it's the average of price over 50 intervals. Price generally wants to come back to it. Even when you're overextended, look, we get nice pump, come back to it. Pump, move sideways, come back to it, then we rip again, right? Even when we go down, retest, down, retest, down, retest, right? And then we change trend. So think of when you're overextended by such a large amount, like here's a perfect example, right? We drop, let's see, from this candle, we are 2.6% from that moving average. What do? We move sideways, we retest it, right? Then we go down again. Then what happens? From this candle again, we are 1.8, which is, that's a lot. Anything between 1 and 2% is a lot. Then what happens? We consolidate, retest it, go back down. Then why do we immediately pump upwards? Well, one, we're at support, and two, we are 2.42% below it. Between 1 and 2%, really like 1.5 to 3% is a general estimate to look for longs and shorts here. Because you have, one, because you could just retest the 50. Two, you're overextended and need to come back to the mean, which the mean is this price indicator. So for me, we're 2.5% above it. It would be wise to look for shorts. Luckily, in the Netherlands, there's no tax-related time of coins held. I can just swing trade with spot. That's great. You're so lucky. We get bent over in taxes here. It's crazy, and our money just does nothing for us. Or most of the money does nothing for us. I can't wait to smash this thing. All right, guys. I'm gonna end it there. Getting hungry. It's almost time for dinner. I'm looking for a short setup, however it comes, however it shows. But with all that said, guys, if you want access to my trades for free, look at the pinned tweet in my Twitter bio. I still do all the Patreon stuff. I still do the daily analysis every single day, 9:30 when stocks open. So if you want access to that, go check out the Patreon link. With all that said, guys, I hope you have a great rest of your day. And remember, be patient.